everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have the very last book haul of 2022. So this is going to be quite a big book haul, mostly because I do have November and December here, and I had no self-control and I bought a lot of things. December was, you know, Christmas and stuff. I actually did not receive a ton of like gifts. So pretty much all of the things that we have here are things that I did buy for myself. And I will tell you right now, I did not hit my goal of getting my TBR down by the end of the year lower than what I had at the beginning of the year. We definitely have more. So yeah, I don't really have much of a plan for how we're gonna go through the books, except for probably going through the November ones first and then going through December. November does have more than December, 100%, and most of them are just sort of over here, so I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's jump into it because there's a lot. Okay, so I think the first ones we're going to talk about, I actually do have a vlog for. I went to a Barnes & Noble local author signing at my local Barnes & Noble, and it was all for authors from Arizona. I do actually have some books in this stack that aren't from that actual signing, but I still hauled them in the video because I bought more than just those books. But those are the ones that I have here first. So I do have The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes, Dust and Grim by Chuck Wendig, The Death of Honor by Lyra Thorson, and that actually is the same author as these ones. I have Trapped in Wonderland, City of Chaos Book 1 Revenge, The Quest, Endangered, and A Falling Starr, all by Danny Hoots, The Key of Arcandus by Lauren N. Sefcik, Beauty's Rose, and The Little Mermaid's Voice by Shona Slayton, Heir of Ashes by H.M. Darling, The Forgotten Five, The Map of Flames by Lisa McMahon, The Angel Room by Lee Call, The Rehearsals by Annette Christie, Go Hunt Me, and Eat Your Heart Out by Kelly DeVos, Into the Heartless Wood by Joanna Ruth Meyer, and Zoey and the Magical Hummingbirds by Ebony P. Fields. Then I also ended up with quite a few like Illumicrate books and special editions in the month of November. So the first ones I have here are One Last Stop and Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Obviously I purchased these myself. They're just like a special edition of them. I have absolutely loved both of these books, like 5 out of 5 stars. I love the holographic nature of the text on the front. They do have really gorgeous sprayed edges that actually, you know, match the book. And then underneath we have art on the naked hardcover, as well as art on the end pages. And these books both have a digital signature. And because I love these books so much, I obviously just had to get them. Again, very fun holographic foiling. The end papers that match the hardcover. Dust jacket, as I should say. Here's the art underneath and on the end papers. And this one actually has like a letter with the digital signature. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars to both of these books. I absolutely love them. I actually read One Last Stop this year, and one of my favorite books of the year, like for sure. So had to get the pretty ones. I also had to get the Illumicrate edition of Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake because I do have Delilah Green right over here on my favorite shelf. Like absolutely love that one. Again, read it this year. And so we have a very pretty pink cover with light blue edges. And then underneath it's just like a white creamish gray color. And it again will have a digital signature, and I'm just very excited to try this one out, and I'm happy that it's a hardcover to match my other one. We also have the October book from Illumicrate because November is delayed for the US, like so much, and then obviously December because of that is delayed as well. But we have The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. Again, a very gorgeous book. This is one of my most anticipated. I have not read it yet, but I really want to. It has a very pretty naked hardcover, very pretty end papers. There is actually like a reversed Just jacket here as well. Like this book, absolutely gorgeous. And then this one is going to actually be signed. I don't think I've talked about this one too much in a video. I think we might have. Did I haul this at one point? I don't think so, because of the fact that I haven't hauled anything in a couple months, and this was also late, didn't come in until like November. But this is going to be about a character who is deaf and going to this school, and something happens and she has to team up with, I believe, a ghost boy who she has known previously. I think this is like a paranormal, magical sort of world, but I'm very, very excited for this one. Like, I've been wanting to read it, and so yeah. And then I also have Ocean's Echo by Everett Maxwell. This is the like companion to Winter's Orbit, which is my favorite book of the year. Nothing has topped that. And so obviously I had to get this one. I do love that they basically only changed the color of the text and then the end papers match, but it was like an orange text and I love the blue. And so it again will have a quote on the front that says, "I would know you in the darkness of space itself," because there was a quote on the front of Winter's Orbit. Here's a spine, and then it is signed. This one, I don't actually know too much about it. It is going to be sci-fi, it is going to be romance, it's going to be male romance, I'm pretty sure, and there's something to do with like mind reading or mind control or something like that. Again, very, very excited for it. Have not read it yet. And then of course I forgot a couple because these are ones that I actually read this month. I have One Way or Another by Kara McDowell. This is something that I purchased at the local author signing, so it should have been at the beginning of the video. And then I have Make You Mine This Christmas by Lizzie Huxley Jones. This one is an Illumicrate Afterlight edition, so it is very, very pretty here. I love the naked hardcover with all the snowflakes. We have a like red sprayed edges, and it is going to be signed. Then I have a few other things that I purchased for myself in November as well. We have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive special edition sort of thing. I do own this in paperback, but again, this is one of my favorite books like of all time. Absolutely love it, and so the fact that they have a nice hardcover, I love this cover, and it has like a deep blue edges. I had to get it. The end papers match the edges, and so yeah. I mean, this is a retelling of like the Iliad from Patroclus and Achilles' sort of point of view. I knew the ending going in when I first read this because of the fact that I've read the Iliad, and so I knew what was going to happen. Still devastated me, absolutely loved it. This is such a great retelling. Then I have some pre-orders. So I have Shipwrecked by Olivia Dade. This is the third book in her series of novels that is based on like this TV show that's like a Greek mythology sort of thing, Game of Thrones sort of show, and they have romances between people that are either characters on it or fans of it or assistants on it. Absolutely love the first book in the series, was okay with the second one, but I'm very excited for this one because it does seem like it's going to be like a forced proximity, enemies to lovers, or second chance romance sort of thing. Like they had an encounter once and then decided because they were co-workers they're not going to get together, and then I think eventually they do, obviously, but I'm very excited for this one. And then I also have Well Traveled by Jen DeLuca. This is the fourth book in her series of romance novels set at a Ren fair. I've absolutely loved every single other one, and I just haven't read this one yet. We're going to be following Dex, who was like a side character in book 2, and Lulu, who I think is basically new on the scene for the Ren Fair sort of stuff, and I'm very, very excited to see how this is going to play out. Like, I just absolutely love Jen DeLuca's writing style, love the settings and everything for these books, and so very, very excited. Okay, the other thing that I ended up buying in November that I definitely did not talk about yet was a Humble Bundle. I've been very taken in with Humble Bundle this year for the comics or manga sort of stuff that they get every so often, and so this one was a whole bunch of ones from like 2010s-ish range from Image, and so I did not download all of them. I'm not counting all of them as like my haul, but I did download quite a few. I don't know what most of these are about, so I'm literally just going to tell you about the ones that I got. Like, these are what I got, and we will have to see as I read them what they are about. So I have AD After Death by Scott Snyder. I'm pretty sure this is like a complete series in one. And then I have the first 3 volumes of Alex and Ada by Jonathan Luna. I have 2 volumes of The Autumnlands by Kurt Busiek. I have 5 volumes of Ice Cream Man by W. Maxwell Prince. I have 3 volumes of Injection by Warren Ellis. I have volume 2 of Isola by Brendan Fletcher. This is one that I have read volume 1 of. It's a very gorgeous graphic novel comic series about like a queen who has been turned into a tiger and her guard trying to get to Isola, this magical island, to change her back. Like, absolutely, it is so gorgeous. And so I'm excited for volume 2. I have volume 1 of Man Eaters by Chelsea Kane. It has cat paws on the cover. Like, this, I don't even need to know anything else about it. I'm so excited for this. I need to know what this is about because Man Eaters, the title, and then the cat paws. Like, I also have volume 2 and 3 of Moonstruck by Grace Ellis. I read volume 1 and I actually have it somewhere over here. Forever ago, it feels like, so I might have to reread that one. But that one is a very like cozy fantasy. I think there's like a coffee shop involved, and I'm very curious again about volume 2 and 3 because I think when I read the first one there wasn't any other additional volumes, and so I don't remember much about the first one, but I need to like reread it and see where the story is going to go. I also have volumes 1 and 2 of Motor Crush by Brendan Fletcher. I have 8 volumes of Nailbiter by Joshua Williamson, and 8 volumes of Revival by Tim Seeley. And then I also have 1 volume of Sea of Stars by Jason Aaron. So those are everything that I ended up having for November, which actually ended up bringing my TBR total to like 689, which is ridiculous. I did better mostly in November. So one of the things I have here is For Goodness Sake. This is the omnibus edition by Kaylin Smith. I've read all of For Goodness Sake before. I have the 3 volumes that make up this edition on my shelves, but this is a really nice like hardcover edition, and there's supposed to be like an extended epilogue in here, so of course I had to get it because she is one of my favorite illustrators and comic book artists and writers. I also picked up In a Holidays by Christina Lauren for myself. This is a holiday romance that I've been meaning to read for a few years now. Like, it came out a couple years ago. Still have not read it, by the way. But this is going to have like a time loop romance thing, and I'm very on board. And then I also have some presents that I received from people. So the first one I have here is The Deep by Rivers Solomon. This one I received from Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. I'll leave her channel linked down below. But this is Afrofuturism, and I know there's like sirens or mermaids or, you know, something like that. I believe it is also more on the like horror side of it. But I trust her so much for those kind of recommendations of Afrofuturism, and so I'm very, very excited for this one. I also just love the cover. And then I received 2 books from my friend Stevie. The first I have here is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is a book I've been really meaning to read, and I actually mentioned it on like my top books I wanted for Christmas video, because this is going to be like a cozy fantasy about an orc who like starts a coffee shop because they don't want to go and pillage things anymore. This is also one that originally was indie and got picked up and published by Tor later this year, and so I'm very excited for this one. And then she also got me my first Darcy Coates. I've been meaning to read her for forever, because again, horror stuff. But this is The Whispering Dead. I actually don't know too much about it, but it is actually the first in a series, and so I definitely want to read this one. I'm very, very excited. Then there was a like stuff your Kindle, stuff your e-reader event that happened the day after Christmas on the 26th. It was only for 24 hours, and I've done this a couple times throughout the year as well. I don't do too many because I'm very picky with like the titles that I do pick up, but they had like 800 books that you could choose from, and I ended up getting 9. Again, I don't fully know what everything is about, but they are romance based no matter what other like subgenre they are in. So I have Beneath Black Sails by Claire Sager. This I do believe is like a pirate one. I have A Legacy Witch by Ashley McLeo. This is going to have some sort of like spell academy. I do believe it's set in college versus high school, which I'm excited for. I have Warlock in Training by TJ Nichols. I don't remember what this one's about. I have A Secret Santa for Grumpy Elves by Laura Greenwood. This is part of a series that has different like mashups of like fairy tale creatures. Like, this is elves. I know one of them had like dragons, that kind of stuff. And this is a short story or novella, so I might still read this by the end of the year. Can't guarantee anything, but it looked really cute. I have Minutes to Live by Stephanie Flynn. This is a novella prequel to the whole series, but it is supposed to be read in order. So I got this. It's gonna have like time travel eventually. I also have Dark Nebula by Luna Jade. This is a sci-fi romance, but I do also believe it's like one of those ones where you're playing video games, like an RPG type style, and I'm very curious. I also have Riv's Sanctuary by A.G. Wilde. This one is for sure a sci-fi romance. I have Resolutions by Lucy Eden. Most of the ones that I know about for Lucy Eden are like novella length, and this is Resolutions, so it's supposed to be like a New Year's Eve type of romance, so this is also a good possibility to read either at the end of this year, beginning of next year. And then last, I have The Trouble with Friends by Cheryl Phipps. I don't know much about this one. It is going to be contemporary, and I think the author at least is from like Australia, so it might be set there as well, and it just sounded cute. So yeah, these were all romances that were part of like a free promotion going on for one day only, so they were free, but I did get 9 of them, which actually is not bad when there's like 800 that were on that list. Now, that should be the end of everything, and if it is, I'm still like in the 690s for books. However, I have a whole shelf behind me that you guys can't really see because it's like down here, of books I need to haul that I bought in like November, and it was coming in the end of November, beginning of December, because I'm doing a project next year that I'm very, very excited for. It's going to be a vlog series where I'm actually reading 31 books. Like it's already picked out. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. But I found really, really nice, pretty covers that are from the UK. So I ended up going like on Book Depository and Waterstones for some of them to get all of the ones that are currently out, because they're actually being released every so often until like 2024, so I'm not going to be able to get all of them, but I'm a sucker. And so some of these I have read previously, some of them I have not. Some of them are for the series that I'm going to be doing, some of them are not. And then some of the ones that I need to read for this series are not in these covers yet, but I do have some. So that is a very interesting explanation to explain that I'm going to be hauling a lot of Stephen King right now, because I have a Stephen King series that I'm planning to do this year. And so I'm just going to go through them. These are the new UK covers from the Hodor and Stoughton, is that what they're called? I don't know. The Hodor, wow, I can't say this. Hodor books. And so we have a lot. They have different colored spines, and so right now there's a lot of green spines, but like you can sort of make a rainbow with it, which I'm loving. I have Just After Sunset. This, I believe, is one of his short story collections that I have not read. I have The Langoliers, which is a short story from a different collection that I have read, really liked it, so I did get like the individual book. I have Thinner, which is him writing as Richard Bachman. I have not read this one yet. I have Blaze. This is another one of him writing as Richard Bachman, which I have not read yet. I have Christine, which I have read. And Firestarter, which I have read. And Cujo, which I have not. And Salem's Lot, which I have not. And The Shining, which I have. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This is a short story collection. I have read this one, but it's been forever, so I don't actually remember what's in it. Another short story collection, Everything's Eventual. I have read this one. Dr. Sleep, which I have not read. The Regulators, him writing as Richard Bachman, but I have read it. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, I have read this one. The Running Man, this is him writing as Richard Bachman again. I have read this one. Dolores Claiborne, I have not read this one. Rose Madder, have not read this one either. Misery, I have read this one. Night Shift, another short story collection, I have not read this one. Full Dark, No Stars, I'm pretty sure this is another short story collection, I have not read this one. The Bazaar of Bad Dreams, another short story collection that I have not read. The Tommyknockers, I've not read this one. The Mist, another of his short stories that they published separately, I have read this one. The Eyes of the Dragon, this is like one of his only pure fantasy books, I think standalone even, I have not read this one. And finally, Different Seasons, this is a short story or novella collection, I have read this one. Yeah, I do not actually know what my TBR is at right now, because I'm about half and half, maybe closer to more unread of the Stephen King ones. And like I said, some of these are going to be ones that I am for sure reading this year, and then some of them are ones that I am not reading this year. At least they're not on the plan to read this year. And then some of the ones that I am reading this year, I've already read, some of them I haven't. It's a big old mess that way, but I had to get the pretty rainbow ones. I mean, like, can you blame me? They're gorgeous. He also has like new ones coming out, supposed to be, I think, in January sometime, as like the next round of stuff. And so those I think I've mostly read, but I will probably be getting more Stephen King books hauled throughout the next year. And so yeah, this right here, this mess, these are all of the books that I needed to haul for the end of the year. Don't ask me to count them. I have no idea how many books I just hauled. It was a lot. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I'm planning on starting back up with 2 videos a week, so I should have a video coming out on Tuesday, potentially, Tuesday and Thursday. I will let you guys know as I figure it out, and I will see you then. Bye!